Welcome to the Business Spotlight Series. My name is Scott Lawson, certified business coach with Action Coach of Coastal Bend in South Texas, and I'll be your host today. I'm very excited to have our special guest, Whitney Atkinson. Now, she goes by Whit, but Whitney, it's wonderful to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Great. Whitney is the founder and inventor of Wugs weighted rugs and Willows weighted pillows. Today, we're going to talk to Whitney about her business, her journey to business ownership, some challenges, some successes. We'll have her share what it's really like to own and operate a business as an entrepreneur. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to like and subscribe so you get notifications when we publish new content. You know, I say that frequently, and it just occurs to me as I'm saying it this time, even if this is not your first time, please like and subscribe so we can provide more content like this. I know a lot of our audience love to hear from business owners. Well, Whitney, I'm so glad that we're able to do this today. I really do want to hear more about your business, but if you don't mind, can we just start off by learning more about you? What's your story?
Sure,
What was your journey?
sure. Well, I'm a mom of two. I have a 5-year-old little girl and a 13-year-old son, and I'm married. I've been married for over 20 years to I guess my high school sweetheart. And I have a background. I've been in medical. I have been in HR. I have a background in interior design, commercial and residential. I have built homes from the ground up and remodeled from the largest, residences to a single bathroom. So
Mhm.
I have an array of a background, and I think everything that I've done in the past has led me to running and opening my own business.
Pretty varied background with a lot of different things in your
Yes.
experience, but I can certainly see how that would have led to where you are today. So I'm
Hmm.
real curious about this thing we call Wugs. Tell me about the
Yes.
business. Maybe even a little bit about the name and what that
Yes.
is.
So Wug started as a solution to a problem I had. One day I was outside by the pool, the kids were playing, and I was fighting an outdoor rug. It was curled up on the edge.
Hmm.
So I had it flipped over, had a water hose. I was trying to put furniture on the ends of it to keep it flat, but it dried out. I flipped it over and it went right back up. It curled.
Hmm. I've
I
been
said
there.
there had to be something that kept your rugs down. I didn't want to put furniture on the ends of it. So I came up with a solution and I created my own weighted outdoor rug. 3 days later, a storm blew through. The airport down the street clocked 65-mile-an-hour winds, and everything outside was blown away. Our pool furniture, cushions, but that weighted rug was still there. So I told my husband, we may have something here. So we did a patentability search, and I took it to a mentor who has patents in downhole completion tools in the oil field. And he said, "Have you told anybody about this?" And I said, "No, I haven't." So I was filing a provisional utility patent the next week. So it happened so quick. This all happened back in March of 2023. May, we were filing patents, and then we were launching in August.
Wow. So that tells us about the rugs. What about the pillows?
Well, have you ever walked outside and had an outdoor pillow on the ground, or maybe you lost a pillow, it ended up in your neighbor's yard? That was something that I dealt with all the time. My design clients, they didn't want me to decorate with outdoor pillows on the canals because they ended up in the water.
Mm.
So I found a solution for that and created a weighted outdoor pillow. So we have Wugs and Willows.
Wugs, Willows, weighted
Hmm.
rugs, weighted pillows. Okay, I'm starting to get
Correct.
it.
Yes. Hmm.
What is your role in the business?
Um, so I am the CEO, and I don't mean chief executive officer. It's more like chief everything officer.
Okay.
Um, so from the sales, the marketing, the face of the brand, I travel all over the country. I speak on panels about brand awareness,
Hmm.
but then also producing the product. I sew all of our weighted kits, and my husband, he manufactures all of the metal here at our home. So we operate out of our home currently.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes, we're
You
very
really
busy.
do wear all the hats in that case. Yeah, that's
Yes,
wonderful.
yes.
What
Hmm.
for our business owner audience, what can you tell us about big mistakes that you might have made and what you learned from them?
It's funny, I hate to admit this, but whenever I first started Wugs, I wore many hats. So I was making the
Mhm.
product, I was out selling, marketing, doing all of the social media. And when I set up our account, I didn't realize that you needed to put money aside for sales tax. So my quarterly taxes came due, and it was a big shocker. It was really definitely an oops moment.
Mhm.
I definitely recommend to put sales tax aside whenever you start selling, and it doesn't matter how small your business is. Just do that. That's a very big mistake I made.
That's good advice. I know when we work with business owners, a lot of times just budgeting and being able to predict ahead of time where those funds need to go is such a big deal. It can
It
get you in
is.
a lot of trouble if you don't do it right. So,
Exactly.
very
Yes.
important. So, thanks for that, Whit. We're kind of looking in the past. Now, let's look to the future. What are you aspiring to in, let's say, 5 years? What do we think Wugs will look like?
That's a great question. I have my vision of what I want Wugs. I want Wugs to be a household name, just like any appliance, Pringles, Nike. I would love for it to be a brand name in everybody's home as a solution to a problem. I would also love to work with our schools because community give back is huge for me, and let Wugs be a part of that as well. So my mom, she works in the school district, and then my kids go to our school district, of course, and my 5-year-old's about to start kindergarten. So I would just love to give back to the community, give back to schools, and because my community has been such a big supporter of WUG since I started.
Oh, I see. That's
Mhm.
great. That's great.
Thank you.
When
Thank
you
you.
think about success,
Mhm.
who comes to mind and why?
That's a great question. And so I've been asked this before, and it's always for me, it's been Sarah Blakely.
Okay.
I have followed her. If I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she invented
Hmm.
Spanx, and
Hmm.
she is a go-getter. She started out of her home, and how she built that brand is very similar to what I'm doing. She hit the pavement running. She put herself in front of executives, and I'm doing the exact same thing. She believes in what she has, and I believe that we have a solution to a problem that's been overlooked by, the textile industry for a long time.
Hmm.
So
Well,
definitely Sarah.
I'm not a customer, but I'm quite familiar with her from her Shark Tank and how I
Yes,
built this and different things like that. She's been out there,
yes,
and she is a role model for many. I know that's true. So yeah, that's
yes.
great. Um,
Mhm.
I'd like to ask Whit about what differentiates your organization, your company, from others in the industry.
Well, we are the only weighted rug on the market.
So
So,
when I ask you about differentiation, you gave me
uh-huh.
the ultimate differentiation.
Exactly.
You have no
Exactly.
competition.
No, we don't. There's many textile or rug manufacturers out there, but we are the solution to all of the rug issues. So even
Mhm.
slipping, tripping hazards. We've been endorsed by Justin Ford. He is the director of a national safety company,
Mm.
and he says wugs are what to use in Airbnb, short-term rentals, because a
Oh,
lot of insurance claims are over customers tripping over a rug edge. So we have been
that's
endorsed by
very
him.
interesting. I would have
Mhm.
not thought of that, but I can certainly
Yes,
see the significance.
yes.
That's huh, that's
And
important.
walkers and wheelchairs go over right over our wugs.
Okay, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just about them blowing away or, the
Hmm.
vanity of them. It's also about a safety.
Yeah. I mean, as my mind is mulling over what you just described, there are a lot of safety issues with rugs in many situations that
Absolutely.
I can think of.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
you've
Hmm.
listed them pretty well, but I've seen that very thing. People with
Hmm.
walkers. I've I've just I've seen some close calls with
Oh,
walkers, and I
yes.
can imagine that could be a big advantage. And yeah, the
Right.
Airbnb. Anyone going into a home they're not familiar with is more susceptible. If we have a rug in our own home that we walk over every day, we probably pick our foot up when we get to it. But
Exactly. You're aware
you're
of
in
it.
someone else's place, that might be a real hazard. That's
Hmm.
interesting. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hmm.
If you could do it all over again, what would you do differently?
I think I wouldn't do a lot differently because I think everything that I've done has led me to where I am now.
Hmm.
But one thing I would do differently is my bookkeeping. I
Hmm.
would, no matter how small a business you are, if you are wanting to scale and you are wanting to bring on investors, you need to have your books from the beginning. You need to have your numbers ready to go. It will save you a lot of time and a lot of work whenever people are asking for your numbers.
Good
And
point.
I've learned that firsthand.
People may think of that as an expense I'll deal with later when I grow a little bit,
Right.
but they really need it from the beginning. That's right.
Exactly. Whether that's, I mean, you can get QuickBooks, there's other applications out there, or spreadsheet, something that's easy to, drop into a bookkeeping application.
Hmm. Good
Make sure you
advice.
keep those records.
Yep, that's very good. So we're getting close to the end, I think, Whit. But are there other things you'd like to mention that we haven't brought up? Is there anything else?
I guess for a small business owner, just, we get one shot at this, and I just say go for it. Dream big. I've always been a dreamer. I've always, thought, okay, there could be something more. We could do something more. And my poor husband, because he's just come along with me, but he is like my biggest supporter. Um,
Mhm.
but and a lot of business owners think that, oh well, you need a lot of money, or um you need to know people. If you get out of your comfort zone and you put yourself out there, there are ways to do things. If there's a will, there's a way.
Mhm.
So I just tell small business owners, go for it. What do you have to lose? Go, give everything you have. If you're passionate about it, just go for it.
Great, I love that. And how can our audience get in touch with you?
They can follow us on Instagram. We're at Wugs Weighted Rugs, or Facebook. And then I'm also on LinkedIn under Whitney Atkinson. And then we also have our website, www.wugsweightedrugs.com.
You say that it just flows off
I've said it
your
so
tongue.
many times.
Yeah, yeah. It's
It's my life.
a little bit of a tongue twister for me. I have to think it through whenever I say it.
Yes.
Wugs weighted rugs. Okay.
Do you
All
want me
right.
to tell you the story of how Wugs came to be? How
Oh, yeah.
the name?
Where'd the name come from? Sure.
So my son and I, he was 11 at the time. We were sitting on our first prototype in the living room. We were doing his homework, and I told him, I think I'm going to put my interior design business on the back burner, and I'm going to go full force with Wugs. We're going to launch a product to market. And I said, okay, I need a business name. Ready, go. And he looks up at the in the air, and he's like, okay, weighted rugs, weighted Wugs, weighted Wugs. And he looks at me and says, Mom, Wugs by Whit. And it just stuck.
Oh, yeah.
It was a tongue twister.
Weighted weighted
Uh-huh.
rugs by Whit. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I love it.
Wugs, weighted drugs by Whit. Yeah, it's
That's great.
definitely a family business. Everybody
Mhm.
in my family has been a part of this. My husband is like my number one, and then my mom, she also sews for us. My brother, my dad, they all help me at trade shows. We put up this huge pergola, and it's a lot of work. So
Mhm.
definitely a family business.
But what an education for the young ones when they grow up in a business like that and they can see what their parents are putting together and actually be able to be a part of it. I've heard a number of
Exactly.
business owners talk about that's
Yes.
priceless to be able
Yeah.
to give that kind of education to their kids as they grow up.
I agree. I agree. Hard work and hustle. And my
Mhm.
kids are watching it every day. My daughter can sell you a Wug all day long,
I'll bet.
and she's
I'll bet.
5.
That's wonderful. Well, Whit, thank you for sharing your story. This has been very interesting. I hope the audience finds it informative and valuable. This is the Business Spotlight series with Scott Lawson from Action Coach of Coastal Bend and Whitney or Whit Atkinson of Wugs. Please be sure to like and subscribe so you can continue to get great content. Thank you for watching and listening today. Bye for now.